Hey, thanks for joining me again. Alright, let's play some more Fallout 4 on survival mode. And we have about 2 hours of step and fetch it and yakety yak to do. And for your convenience, I'm going to condense all this into one 25-minute video. This is mostly about the molecular relay mission and getting into the Institute, building the signal interceptor and getting into the Institute, and yakety yakking it up with some Institute head honchos. And then it's back to the Brotherhood of Steel to kick off the Brotherhood of Steel series of quests that will do the Brotherhood of Steel ending to the game. Alright, so that's what this is all about, that kind of transition. Alright, I just finished doing some business on the Pridwin, and I went down to the airport and I found a way to walk across the bottom of the bay in order to get back to the Old North Church, where we need to hook up with the railroad to have this Courser chip analyzed, this Courser chip that we just retrieved from the Courser that we whacked at the top of the Green Tech Genetics building that was in the previous video. Or rather, the video before that, part 68 if I recall correctly. Right, so I'm trying to get out of here. Here we go, found the way out into the Old North Church. There it is.
I have a report.
And talk to Desdemona.
It reads more like a comic book. Apparently, one hell of a fight took place at Green Tech Genetics.
Yeah, that was me. I took down a Courser.
So why did you kill him?
I needed a Courser chip. I need the code on it.
You have one of their chips intact? Follow me.
So Tinker Tom has the chip
We
analyzed.
got the code. Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, dude.
Now, with the chip analyzed, we have to take it back to Virgil. And I'm trying to find a good place to land a vertibird here. I just simply want to take a vertibird back. And what I do is I fumble finger this totally. I have Nuclear Physicist 3, which, if you don't know, you can use the launch grenade button to eject your fusion core and turn it into a nuclear warhead. And I fumble fingered that instead of launching or throwing out a vertibird signal grenade. And after all is said and done, the vertibird cannot land at this location, so I have to swim across the bay again. This is the thing about these vertibird signal grenades. The game will sometimes tell you that the vertibird simply cannot land where you throw the grenade. And I've talked about this before, you don't get your grenade back, you know, it's just a wasted grenade. So sometimes if you're short on grenades, you have to be very careful about where you throw your signal grenade. So let's try a new spot just right near the USS Constitution, right here. Just north of that, there's a bridge that goes across. And it is summertime here in Montreal, Quebec, so you may hear the authorities passing by in the form of, you know, sirens and whatnot. Okay, this looks like a pretty good place. I've never tried this before. Usually I go all the way across the bridge, which across the bridge I know is a guaranteed place to land a vertibird. I'm going to try it here, see if we can save time and not have to go across the bridge. And the game accepts this as a viable location to land a vertibird, so there we go. Now, while waiting for the vertibird, a legendary raider shows up. Let's make short work of him with the spray and pray and see what kind of goodies we can get. Most likely nothing I can use because I'm in a power armor build, and just as I suspected, there's nothing I can do with this. Take it down on board, take his ammo, and take the vertibird back to Virgil's cave in the glowing sea. So let's skip ahead. all the way down to Rocky Cave.
Glad to have you aboard, sir. Your minigun should be loaded and ready to fire. Good shooting, sir.
Okay, so skip ahead back in Virgil's cave. Let's go yak it up with Virgil. Tell him we got the Corsair code.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again.
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a Corsair. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
The railroad helped me.
Oh God, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free or... Sorry. They just have something of a reputation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport Corsairs and send you instead. Can you build it? You have people that can help.
I got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
There we go. So we got the signal interceptor plans, which is going to help us teleport into the Institute. We just have to simply build the signal interceptor. So we need the help of any one of the factions to build the signal interceptor. I'm going to choose the Minutemen, the Minutemen, of course, because they're located at Sanctuary, and all the junk, that is the components I need to build the signal interceptor, are already there in the Sanctuary workshop. So let's hire Birdie Bird again, once again, back across the map.
All weapon systems are go. Good shooting night.
What are they for?
And talk to Preston Garvey.
These are plans for building a signal interceptor to get inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my son.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. I'd like to help, but you know my situation.
Okay, so what he said was, "I like to help, but you know my situation." Sorry about that.
I haven't forgotten that you need my help. Remind me as soon as you found out what that settlement needed from the Minutemen.
There we go.
Another day in the Commonwealth.
You came to visit.
Preston won't help us because we left something undone, and that is the first step mission. We were supposed to go over to 10 Pines Bluff and ask them what they wanted. They were going to tell us, go down to the Corvega assembly plant, whack all the raiders there, and report back to him. Now, we've already done that. All we have to do is just simply go to 10 Pines Bluff and tell them that we've taken care of all the raiders at the Corvega assembly plant. On the way to 10 Pines Bluff, I stop off at the robotic disposal grounds again in hopes that these two military-grade circuit boards inside this little hut here have respawned, and they did. They did respawn. And these are a couple of components you need to build the signal interceptor. So that's a place where you can easily find some military-grade circuit boards. Show you in the map where that is. Bring up the map there, Slack. Bring up the map. Who's against Slack? Come on, Matt. Come on, Slack. There we go. There we go. So that's where we are. Robotics disposal ground. Briefly show that there. And I'm going to go on a little hub flower run on the way to 10 Pines Bluff here. Grab a few hub flowers. Make some psycho and some great mentats with those. And it's off to 10 Pines Bluff. There we go.
Bye.
What do you want? We don't need any more trouble around here.
Take it easy. I'm with the Minutemen. I'm here to help.
You're with the Minutemen? I didn't really think you fellas still existed. There's a raider gang that's been giving us trouble for weeks. Stealing food and supplies, threatening to kill us all if we don't pony up. We know where they're coming from, but we can't go up against a gang like that.
I took care of some raiders earlier.
No kidding? That's the best piece of news we've had around here for a good long time. You know what? I'm gonna take a chance on you. If we want things to get better, we've got to start helping each other. So, we're in. You can count on us if you need help down the line. Thanks again, friend.
So there we go. Minutemen quest, the first step, now complete. And on the way back to Sanctuary, I decided to mix it up with a few of the locals, namely this half-dead Deathclaw, just for amusement. Get some meat off him. Do a little pain train on this legendary feral mongrel. Get another useless legendary piece. Or rather, useless to me. And hey, let's whack a few raiders. And their doggies. And some doggies. Sorry, those aren't really part of it. Here's the raider camp. There we go, a little low-level wackadoodle for you. Sanctuary's just up ahead. Hunting with Slack.
You know that settlement you sent me to help? They've decided to join the Minutemen.
That's great news. So, there's something I need to ask you.
Of course.
I don't think I ever told you what happened to the Minutemen.
Okay, we'll skip over that. Now we can get back to the task at hand, building the signal interceptor. So let's look up the molecular level quest and ask Preston Garvey's help.
Earlier. Some kind of machine to get into the Institute. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis.
Sturgis,
I
okay.
haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix.
Let's go talk to Sturgis.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform.
So let's go build the stabilized reflector platform. We have the parts to do that already. Bring up the workshop, go to special, slap one of these suckers down, and report back to Sturgis.
Ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Okay, so let's slap this sucker together. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Build some power generators. Wire it all together. Get into our power armor. And get ready to get teleported down to the Institute for some final arrangements with Sturgis.
Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it.
Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, nobody does anything for free in the game, so now we're tasked with hacking into the Institute and getting some info on them and putting it on a holotape. But for now, let's go meet Father.
Hello. I wondered if you might might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Alright, let's take the elevator down. I originally just wanted to leave my power armor there, so as to not waste fusion core running around the Institute, but apparently you're not allowed to. Alright, so take the elevator down. Here, the elevator didn't want to cooperate for some reason. Now it is. And let's skip on ahead to when we meet Father.
I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Thank you.
Not yet.
And now we're tasked with meeting four head honchos at the Institute.
So good to have you here.
Clayton,
At this point, she's...
Excuse me, Doctor.
Madison Lee,
It's you. Please don't. There's enough friction as it is
Hi, Doc.
between us
Justin
and
Ayo.
pretty much all the other departments.
Here you are.
and Ali Fillmore.
Excuse me, Doctor.
They weren't kidding. You really are here.
There we go. So we met all the head honchos at the Institute. Just fast track through all that. We don't need to hear all that dialogue again. And back to hack into the Institute terminal with this holotape. Now that we've done this, we can fast travel to the Institute from anywhere on the map, which is actually a crude form of fast travel that you can use on survival mode. Once inside the Institute, you can only fast travel to the CIT ruins, which is just directly above the Institute. And just to demonstrate that now, if you try to fast travel to anywhere else besides the CIT ruins, you won't be able to do that. For example, let's try to fast travel to Sanctuary. You cannot fast travel to this location. The only place you can fast travel to out of the Institute is the CIT ruins. Right, so there we go. Let's throw down a vertebrate signal grenade. That's something you could do though on survival mode. If you're anywhere on the map and you've already come to this point in the game, fast travel to the Institute and then fast travel to the CIT ruins to save time, to save vertebrate time.
Can't take all the credit.
Here's that holotape you gave me, full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right.
Okay, so give the holotape to Sturgis to complete this quest inside job. And let's hire another vertibird to go talk to Elder Maxon at the Bridwin.
Our latest intelligence tells us you've infiltrated the Institute and liberated a valuable holotape from their facility. I'm quite disappointed you chose to build the signal interceptor without the Brotherhood Knight, since you've unexpectedly accelerated our plans. I now have 2 missions for you to complete. First and foremost, I want you to bring that holotape to Proctor Ingram right away. There could be data vital to the success of our mission on that tape, so we can't afford to take any chances. The second part of your mission requires a bit of background to explain. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee. We want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
So there you go, back to the Institute to talk Madison Lee into defecting to the Brotherhood.
You again. What do you want now? You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
You don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency.
Father trusts me, and so should you.
He trusts you because you're family. I'm not. I can't just take your word for it. I need more than that.
The Brotherhood has always been straight with you.
I am getting a bit tired of all the secrets around here.
Your work could be instrumental in freeing the Commonwealth.
You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee.
And make sure you stacked up all your charisma bonuses for that, because there's a ton of XP to win in a whole bunch of speech checks with Madison Lee. Now it's back to Sturgis to take back the holotape.
Sturgis, remember that holotape with all the Institute data? I need it back.
Oh, yeah? Why? What have you got cooking?
I'm working on something with the Brotherhood of Steel. They want to look at the data I got from the Institute.
The Brotherhood, huh? I sure hope you know what you're doing. Here you go. I've already made myself a copy.
And having done all that, it's time to report back to Elder Maxon. And I'm using a whack ton of vertebrate signal grenades to facilitate all this running around. You can always buy more signal grenades off Tegan on the Pridwin.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Pridwin. Now, I believe you still possess an important piece of data that Proctor Ingram is eagerly awaiting. I want you to bring it to her immediately. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Yeah, add Vic Mackey to you too. Okay, now it's time to take the holotape down to Proctor Ingram.
Proctor, I came across a holotape with a full scan of the Institute's network.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. In the meantime, I've got a new assignment for you. So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
He didn't tell me anything.
Makes sense. We've been trying to keep it under wraps until the time was right. Come on. It's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed...
Okay, so there we go. We're now working for the Brotherhood of Steel. Let's follow Proctor Ingram
Maxon and Kells
into this area where they're working on this new special project.
This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Okay, it's back to Madison Lee to strong-arm her into working on the new secret project.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you actually mean it. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
Proctor Ingram?
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Maybe I should teach her some manners.
That's not necessary. She isn't gonna be much good to us if she's lying in a hospital bed. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
Sure, anything you need.
That's what I love about you. You're ready to leap into action, and I bet you don't have the faintest idea what I'm talking about. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in his limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
Holy super stupid step and fetch it, yank my chain all over the Commonwealth, yakety yak, Batman. Yeah. Whoa, yeah, that was like 2 hours of gaming. Yeah, like I said, for your convenience, I condensed that into a 25-minute video. Here we are back in our quarters, so to speak, on the Prydwen, and we're about to embark on a big adventure into the southeast part of the map, where we are going to retrieve a high-powered magnet, and we're going to do a whole bunch of other things down there as well. We're going to get back into the combat, back into adventuring. Next video. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this video. If you watch this video, consider yourself a hardcore slacker. Alright? Thumbs up for all the hardcore slackers. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you thought this video was remotely entertaining and or informative, please subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this hot off the press. Alright, that's it. See you next video.